One word, FIFA. FIFA may mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. For some, it could be their job in terms of a competitive scene, trying to be the best FIFA player in the world. For others, it's to be the best in your friendship group, play kickoff with your friends, and try and see who is the best. Casual players that only play career mode, and there's also traders that only play Ultimate Team. FIFA means a lot to every single types of people, but there's only one thing that we can all agree on, and that is the worst FIFAs of all time in the last couple of years. Sometimes we can all come together and agree on some of the worst FIFAs that's ever been published by EA Sports. Now, of course, this countdown will not be including, you know, like older FIFAs, like, you know, FIFA 02, FIFA 03, because I think it's a bit unfair to include games that's so far back in terms of the development stages of the actual console itself. I mean, of course, FIFA 03 had the weird, you know, tackle the opponent's goalkeeper glitch, but that was more funny than actually game breaking. Some of the things you're gonna see in this video is just number 1, stupid, number 2, broken, and number 3, just damn right wrong. So if you guys do enjoy, make sure to smash a like button. Let me know down below in the comments what is your worst FIFA of all time. And I asked you guys on Twitter about what's your thoughts on the worst FIFA. So this is not just my opinion, but it's also your guys' opinion as well. So feel free to let me know yours down below in the comments. Let's have a discussion, boys. Subscribe if you're new. We are so close to 175,000 subscribers, on the road to 200,000 subscribers. So that'd be sick. And with that said, let's get into it. Funny enough, when I asked this question on Twitter saying what is your worst FIFA of all time, I want to say a good like 80% of people said FIFA 19. So I feel like we should have a touch in this, shall we? I do not think that FIFA 19 is the worst FIFA in terms of the actual game itself. It's got good content, your online good content for Ultimate Team, and that's really it. Gameplay wise, it's you know, the gameplay is what it is. Let's have a look at FIFA 19 on the Xbox 360, shall we? I did a video on this about a month ago, and it's still insane to this day when you look at it and compare it to the current FIFA 19 on Xbox One. I know it's different consoles, but let's be real here, guys. FIFA 14 on the Xbox 360 looks better than FIFA 19. I don't know how that's even possible, but it is. It's EA. Now, EA may say that they may have stopped, you know, developing the graphics of the game, you know, since like FIFA 16, FIFA 17. But I still don't think that's any excuse. Now, the reason why I think most people don't like FIFA 19 is because of the lack of innovation for the career mode, lack of innovation for the pro clubs, lack of innovation in terms of casual game modes for the players that don't want to be a pro player. EA are pushing the pro scene so hard, which is ridiculous because the pro scene and the competitive scene is a niche market. Back in FIFA 14, FIFA 15, only, and believe me, the entire pro club scene, the main thing was FIWC. Sometimes online there was Virgin Gaming, which you can compete for money, but that's really it. And just to showcase how insane this is and how viable this is, if you have a look at the achievements on Xbox One, for example, only 16-80% of people has actually qualified for Weekend League that has purchased or played or owned FIFA 19. That's 60-80% of the entirety of the fan base of FIFA 19 that's actually qualified for Weekend League, which is kind of important for the pro scene. So which kind of shows how much the community doesn't care about FUT Champions, doesn't care about pro scene, doesn't care about this and that. They may just want to play kickoff mode, they may just want to play career mode, they may even want to play pro clubs. However, people don't care about FUT Champions. Gameplay at times is the most RNG, unpredictable thing in the world. But yet again, isn't all FIFAs like that? Isn't all FIFAs all RNG based? Isn't all FIFAs all just kind of lucky, you know, if you get a win or not? So, yeah, let's just put FIFA 19 in here because you guys don't seem to like it, and I can see kind of why. So with that said, FIFA 19 is in the countdown. Next up is going to be FIFA 14, but on the Nintendo Wii. This is specifically for Nintendo Wii, and there's only one reason why, and that is this. What is this? What is this menu? What am I even looking at here? Is this FIFA 14 or is this The Sims? I don't understand this. It looks like The Sims. Why is there like a city? I don't get this, man. It looks like The Sims. And I'm pretty sure this is like one of the only FIFAs with this thing kind of involved, with this menu type. And it's just wrong. It's just wrong in every degree imaginable. And don't get me started on the actual gameplay. You start throwing the Wii remote around as if you're playing Star Wars, for God's sake. Like, it's ridiculous. You're just there flinging your arms into the air, hoping that something happens. That's a good thing. Now, of course, most people that probably played FIFA 14 on the Wii or played any FIFA on the Wii, maybe I would say relatively young, you know, like young people, you know, between like 10, 8 to like, you know, say 16. So back then you may not really think about it. You may think that, you know, it was a good game. If this is FIFA 14, with how good FIFA 14 even was on Xbox 360 and Xbox One, and it looks like this, and it plays like this, and it just the menus. I can't forgive the menus. What is this? The only good thing I had was the fact it had like FIFA Street on it. That's the only good thing I had going its way. That it had a new feature, which I find kind of weird that it's not on any other FIFAs, but on FIFA on the Wii, it has FIFA Street. But everything else, no, it just doesn't deserve it. For FIFA 14 on the Wii, if you just call it Football Game 14, and it was made by some indie company in the middle of some garage somewhere in Idaho, I would probably believe you. So, for that reason alone, FIFA 14 on the Wii, it's just funny. Next up is going to be FIFA 15, but on the PC. And on the PC specifically, before you say, oh my god, FIFA 15 is an amazing game, this, blah, blah, blah. Hear me out here, guys. If you remember, I don't know how many of you guys played FIFA on PC. I know I haven't. However, FIFA 15 on PC, when it first was launched for a couple of weeks, or a couple of months in fact, because EA don't really care about, you know, PC players, was probably the most broken thing in the world. What you see in the background right now is a genuine game, kickoff game, of an MLS game. Doesn't really matter what the game is, it's like this for every single game, and just watch it. And you can see how much weird things are happening here, and this was for every single game for about a few weeks in the first launch of the game. Which, for this alone, for the game to be broken this much, I don't care if it's on PC, I don't care if it's on Xbox 360, PS3, I don't care if it's on Game Boy, or even the Wii. This is just unacceptable, and the fact it took so long for this to get solved, because, I guess, you know what, EA don't care about PC players, is the most disgusting thing I've seen in the world. It's genuinely unplayable. You end up drilling with the ball that ends up pissing off 5,000 years ahead of you, and it's like this for the entire game. The ball goes out for a goal kick and ends up teleporting to the halfway line for throwing, or kicking, because throw-ins look like kickings half time in this game. The ball just teleports. It's Teleport Simulator 2015. That's what this game is. If this was only for a couple of days, or even like a week, I would understand it, but this was for so long, it was like this for FIFA 15. I can't forgive it. So for one of the worst releases of a FIFA title, FIFA 15 on PC has to be. Coming in a second spot, I'm gonna have to put FIFA Street 3 in here. There's one reason why, that's because of how successful FIFA Street 1 and 2 was. FIFA Street 3 just kind of came with a new style and a kind of new design that just wasn't really took too well in the entire FIFA scene, from what I can tell. I do not remember all in this game. I remember playing it with like a friend of mine back at his house when I was younger, and it just kind of felt like it wasn't even like a FIFA game. It felt like an indie developer like made it. It was so weird. Like the local players look like Xbox 360 avatars, for Christ's sake. I think it's mainly because of the success from the previous two FIFA Streets that we had so much expectation, and it just didn't really live up to it. It didn't seem to feel like an actual FIFA Street. It kind of just felt like some sort of power-up mode the entire time. Now, typically most FIFA Streets is usually you grab a controller and you go until shit happens. Really, that's really what FIFA Street is. You just grab a controller and you just stop flicking the remotes, stop clicking buttons until something cool happens, really. And that's really no exception with this game. The urban paint splatter design wasn't really took too well. And from what I remember, it just wasn't exactly like a fun game. The power-ups just wasn't particularly great. And also, do not get me started on the out of play like design, okay? What's the point of a FIFA Street if half the time the ball goes out of play? Like, you spend more time watching that screen. FIFA Street 3 for me is one of the most underwhelming FIFA Streets. So with that said, let's get to number 1. And number 1 in the countdown is going to be, if you know me, you know what this is, and it's going to be FIFA 16. And it's not because of the gameplay, it's not even because of the looks, it's because have you played a game more often and got disconnected from the servers more than FIFA 16? If your answer is yes, you're lying. FIFA 16 was the most inconsistent, bipolar game in the world. You spend half your time looking at the EA disconnect screen when playing a game than actually playing the game. I feel like the entirety of the FIFA scene can come together and just establish that FIFA 16 just isn't great. It was a year after price ranges occurred, therefore the entire market was just all over the place, and most of the players was not even on the market because of the price ranges, because EA didn't even know how much they were supposed to be. He's probably not even on the market, he's probably gone, he's a stint, like there's no point. FIFA 16's main new feature was women's mode, and we know how that went. FIFA 16's main trailer guy was Pele, which we all know how much of a fraud he is. When we talk about forgettable games, I just feel like FIFA 16 is probably the most forgettable game out there. FIFA 14 is memorable because of the Ignite system. FIFA 15 is memorable because of the new Premier League interface into career mode. FIFA 16 is memorable for women's mode. FIFA 17, FUT Champions. FIFA 18, SBCs. FIFA 19, well, we're still kind of waiting on that one. Actually, you know what? I'm lying. I almost forgot. FIFA 16 brought in Foot Draft. Foot Draft. Which, I guess for some people, they love Foot Draft. For me, I see it as a waste. I can win Foot Draft 10 times out of 10, and I will probably make profit once, if I'm lucky. But you know what? It is a nice idea. So, you know what? I'll give a gold star for FIFA 16 for Foot Draft. Everything else, you can just forget about. There you have it, lads. That is the top 5 worst FIFAs of all time. Did I forget anything? Do you disagree? You likely do. Make sure to let me know down below in the comments which part am I so wrong about, because I'm sure there's something which I'm forgetting. Subscribe if you are new. We are so close to 175,000 subscribers. And yeah, lads, thank you guys for watching. My name is Vizeh, and I'll see you next time.